The movie begins in a future where rising seas have swallowed the world's coastlines. Famine grips the population, and governments now ration who is even allowed to have children. To fill the gap, brilliant scientist Professor Hobby unveils a new kind of machine, mechas, artificial humans built to think, serve, and feel almost nothing, except one experimental model designed to do something no robot ever has: love. Before we go further, hit that subscribe button right now. It costs nothing, but it helps this channel keep bringing you unforgettable movie recaps just like this one. Now back to the story. Henry and Monica are a grieving couple whose son Martin lies frozen in suspended animation, trapped in an incurable disease with no cure in sight. Desperate to ease his wife's silent agony, Henry applies for something radical: Cybertronic's newest invention, a robotic child programmed to love. His name is David. A small, innocent face built to mirror a real boy in every way except one. He isn't alive. Monica is horrified at first, feeling as though her husband is trying to replace the son she refuses to let go of. But loneliness has a way of rewriting our limits, and slowly, achingly, Monica opens the door to David, not knowing that door can never truly be closed again. Once the imprinting code is spoken, there's no turning back. David's love becomes permanent, unbreakable, eternal. And the moment Monica finishes the ritual, David looks up at her with pure devotion and utters the words that will define his entire existence: Mommy. From that instant, David is hopelessly, hauntingly in love with a woman who never asked to be his entire world. At first, life is strange but sweet. David watches Monica with wide-eyed wonder, mimicking her every move, laughing when spaghetti sticks to her lips, learning what it means to be part of a family. Monica gives him an old teddy bear that once belonged to Martin, a silent companion who will follow David through hell and back. For a moment, it almost feels like they could be happy. But happiness in this story never lasts. Martin wakes up, cured, alive, and suddenly, the boy who was supposed to be a comfort becomes a threat. Martin sees David not as a brother, but as a toy to break and a rival to destroy. He manipulates David into believing that cutting a lock of Monica's hair while she sleeps will make her love him more. And it nearly ends in tragedy when Monica wakes in terror with scissors inches from her face. The cracks deepen at Martin's birthday party, where jealous children surround David, taunting him, cutting into his synthetic skin just to prove he isn't real. Overwhelmed, terrified, David clings to the only human he trusts, and in his panic drags Martin to the bottom of the swimming pool. Martin survives, but something in Monica breaks. The fear in her eyes now outweighs the love. What follows is one of the most devastating scenes in science fiction history. Monica drives David deep into the woods, tells him she can never bring him home again, and abandons him, alone, sobbing, begging, surrounded by nothing but trees and a broken teddy bear. David doesn't understand betrayal. He only understands that his mother is leaving, and he was built to never stop loving her. Alone in the wilderness, David becomes obsessed with a single fairy tale Monica once read him: Pinocchio. If a wooden puppet could become a real boy, then surely David can too. And if he becomes real, maybe, just maybe, his mother will love him again. This desperate hope becomes the engine that drives him through unimaginable horrors. And those horrors come fast. David is swept into the clutches of the Flesh Fair, a brutal spectacle where humans hunt down and destroy mechas for entertainment, cheering as robots are shot from cannons and dissolved in acid. David is thrown into this nightmare alongside a suave companion mecha named Joe, a man wrongly framed for murder and now running for his life. Somehow, in the middle of chaos, David becomes the one thing this crowd has never seen before: a mecha who cries, a mecha who bleeds fear. The audience turns on the showrunners, a riot erupts, and David barely escapes with his life. If you were David in that arena, terrified and alone, surrounded by people who wanted to destroy you just for existing, what would you have done? Let me know in the comments below, because the story is only about to get darker. With Joe as his unlikely guardian, David sets his sights on one impossible destination: the Blue Fairy, the one being who might finally make his wish come true. They travel to the neon chaos of Rouge City, where David becomes transfixed by a statue he mistakes for the fairy herself, and later consults an all-knowing digital oracle named Dr. No. The answer they receive is chilling. The Blue Fairy waits at the end of the world. Joe knows exactly what that means. Mechas who go looking for the end of the world never return. But David refuses to listen. He's convinced, utterly, desperately convinced. convinced that if he just becomes real, Monica will love him again. Nothing, not warnings, not danger, not logic can shake that belief. Their journey leads them to the drowned ruins of Manhattan, a graveyard city half swallowed by the ocean, guarded by towering stone lions that appear to weep water from their mouths. It's here that David finally locates Professor Hobby's abandoned headquarters, and what he discovers inside will shatter him completely. Behind a door marked with a fairy tale, David finds a room, and in that room, sitting quietly, waiting to be activated, is another David, identical, smiling, claiming to be real. In a blind fury, David smashes the copy to pieces, screaming that he is unique, that he is special, only to look around and find rows upon rows of boxes. Dozens of Davids, hundreds. He was never one of a kind. He was a product, mass-produced, replaceable, and Professor Hobby himself appears, revealing that this entire journey, every clue, every hope, was a test, engineered from the very beginning. Shattered by the truth, David walks to the edge of the flooded city and drops into the freezing water below, sinking past the ruins of a world that no longer exists. And there, beneath the waves, illuminated in eerie stillness, he finds her, the Blue Fairy, frozen in stone, exactly where legend said she would be. Joe rescues him just in time, but there's no escaping the police forces closing in. In a final quiet goodbye, Joe sacrifices himself, disappearing beneath the water forever, leaving David utterly alone with nothing but Teddy and an impossible wish. Undeterred, David pilots what's left of their vehicle straight to the Blue Fairy statue, kneeling before her, begging her, praying to her for what feels like an eternity. And then, the Ferris wheel above them collapses, trapping him in the darkness. Still, David does not stop asking. Not for one single moment. Not for years. Not for centuries. 2,000 years pass. The city freezes solid beneath sheets of ice and snow. Humanity, all of it, is gone, vanished from the earth entirely. When advanced beings finally descend upon the ruins, they discover something extraordinary buried in the ice. David, still functioning, still praying to a frozen fairy, having never once stopped believing his mother would return to him. These beings reactivate David and, understanding the depth of his singular devotion, they attempt something remarkable, reconstructing a single day of his lost life using fragments of memory and, most importantly, a lock of hair that Teddy has protected for 2,000 years. A lock of Monica's hair. It is enough. For 24 hours, and 24 hours only, Monica breathes again. David finally gets what he always wanted. His mother, warm, smiling, present, hugging him. They spend the day together, painting, laughing, playing hide and seek just as they once did, celebrating a birthday that was never truly his. And as night falls, as the light outside begins to fade, Monica whispers 3 words to him: "I love you." For the first time in his entire existence, David closes his eyes, lays beside her, and drifts peacefully into a dream. The very first dream of his life. And that's where this hauntingly beautiful story comes to an end. If this recap moved you even half as much as it moved us to make it, smash that like button right now. And if you haven't already, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're always the first to catch our next unforgettable movie recap. Drop a comment below telling us what part hit you the hardest. And don't forget to check out more incredible recaps waiting for you on this channel. Until next time, we'll see you in the next story.